Hello, welcome to the class of Cybersecurity Foundation. So today in this class we are going to discuss about cybersecurity preventive measures. So here these are the cybersecurity preventive measures. Let's discuss about these and implement these cybersecurity measures over our organizations or the system to secure or protect them from cyber attacks or the cyber threats. So first one is maintain an accurate record of control systems devices. So here such the control system devices such as servers, computer systems that contain the policies document, network infrastructures document, or other crucial information. So you have to make a list of these devices that are more vulnerable to the threats so that we can add protection to the devices effectively. Next is eliminate any exposure of control system devices to external network. So by resisting the exposure of these systems to outside network, we can protect them from exploit. So because cyber attackers find such pathway and use them to access and exploit the industrial control systems. So any channel between devices on the control systems or the devices on the other system should be eliminated to reduce network vulnerability. So such channels must be eliminated from the networks so to reduce the vulnerabilities of the attack. Next is implement network segmentation. So here the network segmentation means classifying and categorizing IT assets, data and personnel into specific group. So by placing resources into different areas of a network, a single exploited devices cannot translate exploitation to the entire system. So it means creating new boundaries and segments empower an organization to enforce both detective and protective controls to its infrastructure. So here, to access to these network areas can be restricted by completely isolating them from one another. So this is not possible in industrial control system because every device is depend upon the another device for its working condition. So next step, we can apply the firewalls to created segment. So by applying the firewall to the created segments, it restricts the access to the different segment. So here a firewall is a software program or a hardware device that filters the inbound and outbound traffic between the different part of a network or between a network or a internet. So here the firewall reduces the number of pathways into and within the network and implement security protocols on the pathway that exits. So firewall makes much more difficult for a threats or attack to enter our system and gain access to the network. In next step, we use of secure remote access methods to access remote devices. So today, as we are dealing with the convenient method of remotely accessing the end user devices, so here we have to be more careful because we are accessing the network and devices outside our own network. So to use the secure remote access technique, we have to use the VPN, that is virtual private network, if we want the remote access. So here a VPN, that is virtual private network, is an encrypted data channel for securely sending and receiving data via the internet. So here the VPN is only as secure as the device connected to it. If the remote device is infected, then it can introduce the infection in whole network, and if you don't install any firewall or the antivirus, it can also cause the infection to your device too. So we have to use the secure remote access to access the remote devices. Next is establish role-based access control. So in this, role-based access control means granting and denying access to a network resource based upon job profile or the function. So in your organization, this role-based access control limits the ability of any users or attacker to reach the file or a part of system they shouldn't have access to. So by limiting employees' permission through role-based access control can facilitates the tracking network exploitation and suspicious activity during an audit. Next is implementing the system logging mechanism. So here the system logging mechanism allows monitoring of system activities. So this also allows the monitoring network traffic that's monitoring the network traffic by the organization to determine if a user is making an unauthorized action or if an outsider is in the system. So by checking the logs of a system, organization can check the activity of an individual or any employee. Next preventive measure is use only strong passwords, always change the default passwords, and check other access control. So we have to use the strong password to keep our systems secure and systems and information secure. So we have to use the different password for a different account, and we have to include the lowercase, uppercase, numerical and special character in our password. And we have to change all default passwords on installation of a new software in a control system devices. And we have to implement other password security features such as account lockout after various incorrect password attempts, multi-factor authentications, and the OTP methods. So we have in this preventive measure we have to use the strong passwords to protect our systems and organization from a threats. Next preventive measure is awareness of vulnerabilities and implement important patches and update. So here the organization must aware its employees about the vulnerabilities and also about the latest updates and patches released to tackle that particular flaws in a system. So we have to make the software to the auto update feature to avoid missing critical updates. So these patches and softwares are designed to fix the known vulnerabilities and must be recommended for any internet connected devices. Next preventive measure is develop security policies and enforce these policies on mobile devices. So here we have to use the employees which use their own devices for the organization work this make the organization crucial information and the network exposure to cyber threats and attack. So it's important to develop policies on the reasonable limit of mobile devices in an office or on your network. So these measures should be enforced strictly for all employees as well as for contractors. Next preventive measures is implement an employee cybersecurity training program. So in this preventive measures, cybersecurity requires a teamwork with all members on an organization playing a part in identifying potential threats and vulnerabilities and bringing them to the attentions of others. So here, employees should receive initial and periodic cybersecurity training, helping to maintain security of organization as a whole. And training should also incorporate the importance of smart internet browsing practices. Next preventive measure is involve higher authorities in cybersecurity team. So researchers found that the only 20% of the IT security professionals survey regularly and communicate with the management about cyber threats, and only 14% of the higher executives participate in the incident management process. So it's become very difficult to secure funding of cybersecurity measures without the involvement of the higher authorities. So it is important to involve the higher authorities in the cybersecurity teams to make the policies to protect our organization and the systems. Next is preventive measures, implement measures for detecting compromises. So here, despite of implementing such preventive measures, organizations still experience compromises. So to reduce these compromises, organizations implement IDS, that is Intrusions Detection System, IPS, intrusions prevention systems, and logs and the antivirus software to detect such compromises. So IDS and IPS use the signatures to detect port scan, malwares, and abnormal network communication, whereas logs from firewalls, IDS and IPS sensors and servers are monitored to detect infections. Next is develop a cybersecurity incident response plan. So here the IRP, that is incident response plan, are a critical yet important component of a emergency preparedness and a resilience of an organization. So an effective cybersecurity response plan will limit damage, increase the confidence of a partner and customers, and reduce recovery time and cost. So the plan should be product of collaborations between all departments of the organization that would be stakeholder in a cybersecurity incident, and this plan must be in operational condition. So these are the some of the preventive measures. So follow these preventive measures to protect your systems or organization from cyber attacks and the threats. So as cybercrime is increasing day by day, so please keep your crucial information safe and protected from attackers, and always remain up to date with new security technologies. So this is all about cybersecurity preventive measures. Thank you.